Harambee Stars are finally shining, but here is the uncomfortable truth. Is it really patriotism on the pitch or just a price tag on performance? Ladies and gentlemen, the Kenyan Harambee Stars are making history in their first ever CHAN appearance, unbeaten, unstoppable, and very determined. They crushed Congo DRC in the opener match, fought tooth and nail to draw with Angola, and just humbled Morocco on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, the nation is buzzing, but let's not fool ourselves. This sudden burst of glory didn't come from nowhere. The elephant in the room is the money. President William Ruto promised them 1 million shilling for every win, 500,000 for every draw, and suddenly, ladies and gentlemen, the very team that struggled for years in playing is now playing like warriors. But the question, and the very burning question in the room, is this one: what happens after CHAN? Will the fire still burn when the cash stop flowing? Will the government keep investing in our players, or will the stars be left to dim once again? Because let's be honest, ladies and gentlemen, this is not the first time these players have worn the national jersey. This is not the first time they have stepped onto the international stage. Yet before now, we saw the missed passes, low energy, poor teamwork, and that hopeless look in their eyes before the final whistle was blown, ladies and gentlemen. Now suddenly, with the millions on the table, they are transformed, running harder, fighting longer, and playing smarter, ladies and gentlemen. So I put the question to you: if money can unlock these levels of performance, why haven't we been paying them properly all along ago, ladies and gentlemen? Why has it taken decades for Kenyan to treat sports like an investment instead of an afterthought thing, ladies and gentlemen? Why do we reward excellency after the fight instead of equipping our warriors before they step into the battlefield and into the arena? Ladies and gentlemen, you're here, you're watching for the very first time. Let me invite you to subscribe to the channel. Take a moment, hit the subscription button, smash that notification bell, and also press the like button. By doing like that, ladies and gentlemen, you help this platform to reach a wider audience. And thanks so much for those who have already subscribed to the platform, because without you guys, this channel could not be where it is at the moment. Asanteni sana. The sad truth is, we have been sabotaging our own talents. We expect patriotism without pay. We expect discipline without decent facilities. That we expect sacrifice without security. Sports in Kenya has been treated like a sideshow, ladies and gentlemen, something that parades when we win and to be forgotten when we lose. But CHAN has exposed the secret, ladies and gentlemen, that our poor performance in the past wasn't because our boys lacked skills. No, it was because they lacked motivation and financial support. That when you treat players like professionals, then they respond like professionals. That when you know their sweat is worth something, then they give you that something. That when they are secure in their future, that they focus on the game and not on survival. So the government and the Ministry of Sports, ladies and gentlemen, Kenyans, we put the question to them: will this level of funding continue after CHAN? Will our players still be respected when the cameras are off? Will there be a permanent sports funding policy, or will this just be another short-lived honeymoon for the players and for the Harambee Stars, ladies and gentlemen? Will the cash continue to flow? Will President William Ruto continue to give millions after this CHAN competition is over? Now, here is what must happen if Harambee Stars and all Kenyan sports are to keep shining on the international stage, ladies and gentlemen. So number one, there must be permanent funding and a structured budget for salaries of the players, bonuses, and welfare years round, not just during tournaments like we are witnessing this time round. We must invest in modern training grounds, gyms, and medical support so our players have the tools to excel in the games, ladies and gentlemen. Another thing is that we must develop our youth, start funding academies and at the grassroots level, and have programs to grow the next generation of stars to play for the country in the future. And then number four, ladies and gentlemen, the most important element, if there football teams in the country have to excel and shine on the international stage is accountability. We have to eliminate corruption in sports management, that every shilling that is meant for the players must reach the players and not in the pockets of other people who are speculating on the side. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, what we need to do is to expose our team. We have to organize for more friendlies with the top African and European teams to keep our squad sharp and equal to the task on the international stage. So Kenya, we are at a crossroads, ladies and gentlemen. We can build on this momentum and create a football culture that produces champions consistently, or we can let this moment fade into another forgotten chapter, ladies and gentlemen. Do we want short-term applause or long-term greatness? Do we want seasonal success or sustained glory going forward into the future? Because Chan has proven one thing, ladies and gentlemen, that when you invest in the player, you invest in the game, and when you invest in the game, the whole nation wins. So Mr. President, and when the whistle blows on the final Chan match, will our stars keep shining, or will we turn off the lights once the party is over? I wish to stop there, ladies and gentlemen. You're here watching for the very first time this year at 254, where we unpack Kenya's biggest political headlines and also analyze what is happening in the country. Let me invite you to subscribe to the channel, press that like button, and by doing like that, ladies and gentlemen, you help the channel to reach a wider audience, and also YouTube will be able to notify you once we upload such a video. In the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, let me see what's your take on this topic. Will our team continue to shine after Chan, or the lights will go dim immediately?
Kocha Beni Makati alifanya mabadiliko ya kimkakati kwenye kikosi chake na hakukosea. Mfungaji bora wa Tusker Ryan Ogam alipewa nafasi ya kwanza kama mshambulizi, na katika dakika ya 42 aliwapa raha mashabiki zaidi ya 40,000 waliokuwa wamefurika Kasarani.
Something and a goal here finally from the Harambee Stars of Kenya.
Nyota wa michuano hiyo ya Chan, Austin Odhiambo, alipumzishwa huku Makathi akipanga mfumo wa 4-2-3-1 ili kuzikabili nguvu za Atlas Lion ya Morocco.
The FIFA official since 2020, the Burkinabe.
Hata hivyo, Crispin Erambo alionyeshwa kadi nyekundu katika dakika ya 47, hali iliyoongeza presha kwa kocha na kumlazimu kumuingiza nahodha Abu Domar kudhibiti mchezo huo. Katika kipindi cha pili, Alfonso Mija pia alipata nafasi. Kenya inasalia kileleni mwa kundi A ikiwa na alama 7, ikisalia na mechi moja dhidi ya Zambia, mechi itakayogaragazwa Jumapili katika uga wa Kasarani. Hii ni mara ya kwanza kabisa kwa Harambee Stars kushiriki michuano ya Chan, na ushindi wa leo umewahakikishia kila mchezaji zawadi ya shilingi milioni 1 kutoka kwa Rais William Ruto kama alivyoahidi kwa kila ushindi.
Beautiful day for Kenya, who have beaten the most successful team in the tournament, the two-time champions Morocco. They go top of the group with 7 points and have 1 foot into the knockout stages.